Hi, I'm Erica Paredes. I'm a cook from Paris. I'm originally from the Philippines. And as you can see today, we have a whole bunch of food on the table. I'm going to be doing a Filipino-style barbecue using the Severin eBBQ, which I've had the chance to use and I really love it. So I'm going to teach you a few tricks on how to do a barbecue at home. Over here, I have pork barbecue on sticks. I have squid. I have chicken, boneless thighs. I have some shrimp over here. So we're gonna start with what takes the longest to cook, which is the meat. I'm gonna start with the pork first. The barbecue is preheated at 320 degrees, which is the highest temperature where you can keep it closed. And I wanna start with the pork and to cook it inside to make sure it's thoroughly cooked before I start adding the glaze and cooking the chicken. So let's start with that. I'm actually gonna keep this open for a few minutes just so it gets some color on both sides. I'm gonna turn it before I close it. And at the same time, I'll add the corn in to keep it warm, and we will char the corn later on. So like any barbecue, you actually don't add the glaze until last because the sugar is going to burn your food. So just cook it, and then when it's already cooked, that's when you start adding anything with sugar in it. If it's a honey glaze or anything like that. My glaze for the barbecue is super typical Filipino style. It has banana ketchup, which I know sounds weird. It's a ketchup made out of bananas. It has some soy sauce, some ginger, garlic, and last, I put brown sugar before I reduced it down into a glaze. So I'm really excited for you guys to see the end product of this because it will be a feast for sure. Okay, so after you've added some color to your pork, you can see it's cooking a little bit. What we want to do is cook it first before adding the glaze. So I'm going to close the barbecue to help speed up the cooking process. And you don't have to worry. Look, I'm touching it and I'm not getting burnt. So if you accidentally touch the barbecue, or if your kids do, which I think is the worst worry of any parent, and I'm a parent, they're not gonna get hurt. So actually the eBBQ is safe for use for kids. If you teach them how to use it properly, you know, they can help you while you're cooking, and it's not, you don't have to worry about them getting hurt. So the pork is going to take about 10-15 minutes to cook internally. So I'm gonna start by brushing this on the chicken because the chicken's gonna go next. And I'm going to brush it on the chicken thighs that have been marinating overnight in soy sauce, some vinegar, some Sprite, yes, or 7-Up, or any lemon or lime flavored soda. So we're going to brush this on. Gives it a nice orange color. And that's another good thing about this barbecue is you can use it indoors. So you don't have to worry about having a backyard or a garden because I suppose you guys know in Paris we have tiny apartments with no backyard. So being able to barbecue indoors is like a dream come true. Okay, so we have this on standby while we wait for the chicken. We're gonna add a little bit of salt. Although it's already marinated and seasoned just before we put it on the grill. Let's check on the pork. Ooh. This should be ready very soon for glazing. So I put the temperature up to 420. You can go up to 450, and this is the glaze that I was talking about earlier. So this is actually where the barbecue was marinated in, and I just added sugar and reduced it down. So we're going to brush all of this with the glaze. And if you don't want to do Filipino style barbecue, you could do any barbecue. Do pork marinated in whatever you want. Use honey instead of brown sugar, vinegar instead of lime. It's really up to you, but what I suggest is you always have a savory factor, something a little bit sweet, something acidic, and a little bit of heat. So to get that perfect balance. So I'm keeping the corn on the other side, which stays at 320. Even if this is boosted up to the highest heat, that side will always stay on 320. So it keeps the corn warm, and then later we're gonna transfer it to the hotter side. Okay, so I think we've achieved what we were trying to achieve, which are these grill marks. This is so amazing. There's no charcoal, but it smells like a charcoal grill. I have no words. So we're going to put this here and then start with the chicken, which we already brushed with the chicken fat. So don't be alarmed. This is going to like fire up a bit, but that's just the fat of the chicken. Okay, so I've charred the skin side. I've cooked the skin side, so I'm gonna close it at a lower temperature to cook the chicken thoroughly. This will take just about 10 minutes. So it's been about 10 minutes. And since the chicken is boneless, they don't take as long to cook. So you can take these off the grill and keep them aside. It smells so good. This is called chicken inasal. So you see this in the Philippines, like on the street, especially in a certain province called Bacolod. They're known for this, and it's all over the city. So before we start with the seafood, I'm putting the corn on the hot side, and I'm adding the pineapple as well, because we want to grill the pineapple too. This is gonna go really good with the pork. So it's in about 450 degrees. So I'm taking out the pineapple. It's nice and caramelized, and it's a bit soft already. Super excited to eat this with the pork. And also we're taking out the corn. And now we're gonna prep the grill to do the seafood. So after the meat, I prep the banana leaves, and now I'm going to do the seafood. So I'm gonna put it on the grill, and in a couple of minutes, we're gonna turn it, keep it again for a couple of minutes, and it's done. So this just has some oil and salt, because it comes with a sauce later. So as you can see, the prawns are ready. They look so pretty, and they smell really, really good. The good thing about shrimp, like prawns, is they don't need much. Just salt, sometimes not even. They have natural saltiness already from the sea, but you can add some salt and oil. And even just on its own like that, it's fine. So we'll finish off with the squid. I'm just gonna add a little bit of oil to this so it doesn't stick. Again, on super high heat. So like shrimp, squid doesn't take very long to cook, but these are big, so they might take a few minutes. So we're ready to plate. So we have our banana leaf ready. It was prepped earlier on the grill as well, so you can see it's nice and shiny, and it's ready for the food to be plated on it. So this may seem overwhelming, but I told you it was going to be a feast, and this is the way we eat for celebrations in the Philippines. It's called kamayan because kamay means hands, and you eat with your hands. Everything here can be eaten with your hands. That's why we like to put things on sticks and things that are easy to eat. And even the squid, you can just pull it apart with your hands. It doesn't matter. So let's put it on a plate and make it look pretty. I'm going to start with, let's start with the pork barbecue. I'm just gonna glaze it a little bit more. So this is like a nice story and a nice snack for you guys. When you render the fat out of the chicken, you get a little snack, which is a chicken skin. But you can also crush it up and put it on top of the chicken to add extra crunch to already crunchy skin. So there you have it, guys. This is a Filipino style barbecue feast that you can do completely indoors at your house with the eBBQ. Everything here was barbecued. I did use a few small kitchen appliances like a blender to make the sauces and my knife and a cutting board, but that's about it. Everything else was made here. I think this is such a great product, and I hope you get to try this at home because it's easy. It looks like a lot, but like I said, everything is done here. So voila, there you go.